Hey guys, how's it going? It's Tuesday, February 13th, 2024 on day 28. And we're just gonna get the host going here. And away we go. Do that first before the communications all open up. Learn that. There we go. Now we're in. Probably could have done that while it was loading, but or if I did that right at the whatever second or whatever, the whatever second or whatever. Yeah. Okay. So we're over at. I believe, yeah, we're at the lead at Cowie there. Just wanted to double check that to make sure. I will. Yeah, about 8:45 is what I expected. Let's head over there right now. I don't think we need the signal, so. Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say, I thought I was past it, but I believe I'm still, oh yeah, I'm still breaking everything down here. Now I remember. I was gonna say, I better have some cars in there. Didn't make any sense if I didn't. Alright. So we've got past the lead. We already got the switch lined for us, so that's good. So we're ready to sort through this. First of at least two, hopefully not many more, at Dillsboro yard here. Okay. Of course, I didn't. I was all the way up front, and I didn't select the engine, so now I gotta go do it again. And I want the player there. Well, actually, you know, hold on. No, I can't do it. I was gonna say I could select it, but I can't do that until I actually literally select it. I need to remember to get some fuel eventually for this thing. Okay, now we can go out. I suppose I could have done a control 9 and then 0 or something like that and popped out of the caboose, but then I'd be way in the yard, so that wouldn't make too much sense. Okay, so I'm going to be riding this guy. So far, just me, or I haven't heard any beeps anyways. RTS 3 lined against us. I'll check him in a minute. There we go. Like I am literally right there on it. Yeah, that's what I thought. Get up there. Oh, that was dumb. Yeah, I knew I had to go around here somewhere. That would work. Okay. So we're going to have our cut for East Whittier on the tail end. Just because there was all those cars already back there. Wasn't that many, but... I wish I could trust it, but I think it would roll right out of the yard. Oh, I didn't do the weather either. I'll do that real quick while it's rolling here. Weather... 0.17. Yeah, we get cloudy 1. Doesn't want to get away from cloudy 1, so that's fine by me. That should be good enough. Okay. Back we go. So I got one more ride down, which will be the stuff for the yard here. Hope I gave Scott enough notice. If not, it'll just be us. I was going to show some of the dispatching stuff. Somebody was asking about that, and I said, yeah, I'll do it tonight. But I haven't quite had a... I don't really have a way of doing it right away, so it'll probably be later on. Oh, I'm jumping around like an idiot here. There we go. I bet you I didn't throw the switch. I know I did, but sometimes I regret it later if I don't check. Yeah, okay. Cold and it's windy and I'm feeling it down here. Alright, who are you? Oh, you're going all down the main, okay. Or not the main, the track number 1, your yard 1. So Commander said he's going to be on at about a little under an hour or so. Looks like we got about 3 hours tonight, so. I gotta get myself down here. Let's say, how bad is the hill here? Is there a 1? Yeah, it's not too bad. Oh. This one's an ugly sort. The other question I had on YouTube today, if you guys have questions, by all means, like I'll reply to them both on reply into the comments as well as I'll mention them here. So there was a comment about how wishing that they blocked everything better or something like that. I think I know what they mean. So because this is all separated and there's all that extra work, they're wishing that it wasn't. Well, you can have that. I choose not to because this is more realistic. Now it shouldn't be totally random either, which you saw a bunch that was grouped together, right? But there should be enough variation that it involves some switching. Sometimes there's more, sometimes there's less. this, we're going to have to write the next one down. Okay, so this one we're writing down. See, now with the yellows there, you want to back off on the speed a bit. Just the yellows. All the reds I'm going to put into that one. That's all local stuff. I want to get on this one. Well, it says I'm on, so I don't know. Could be just me for a little while. As I was saying over on Train Sim today, you can literally run this by yourself. It just takes you longer. Alright, that should be enough. Alright. Not too sure what we have coming up next. There we go. Okay, so that's main line. As in going down the main line. With me. Yeah, 1, 2. Arrived at Nantahala Station. Okay. So I want to take a look at those for a minute. So RTS 3. Did I ever fill up the water on him? I guess I did. I just couldn't remember doing it. Okay, so this we want to dial right back. And then go over to 5. He's at the station there, not a holla. And we just stop him. So you gotta stop the last one or else they'll continue to run a little bit further down, which is not the end of the world, but... Alright. So yeah, I said this is going down the main as well. Yep. So it says 20 cars, which means we got 18 left. Because it counts the engines. Just check this for a second. Oops, whoop. 5, I did not want to do that. Let me double check that. I think it's okay, but so click on that to get back to where we were. So what I was looking for was to see how much room I have. There's not too much. Okay. I'm going to cut it at around 7. Probably could have kicked that a little harder. Because I wasn't as close to the switch as I thought I was. Okay, so you're going down that way, and then... There we go. Alright. Of course, that's just the one. heard a... Oh, that must have been the train itself making that stupid noise. I heard a big bang, or what it felt like there was a bang, but... I'm gonna go 5 for a bit. Just want to see what I'm up against over here. Okay, now I'll go up to 10. Even though I'm closer. There we go. I don't have much room because I didn't kick those as hard as I needed to, so they stopped shy. So 5 is a safe cushion. Yeah, see, these guys didn't want to roll as far as I was hoping. Then what I'll do is I'll probably go in and connect a bunch of them before I kick the rest, but we'll see. I don't think there's any more of the yellows on here. Well, I got a whole whack of them, and I don't know if they're going to fit. They should. But we will find out. So we're not separating the cyan and the blue. Those get done. Those get remarshaled at what do you call it? At Bryson. Okay. Just want to make sure we got enough going down there. Of course, it's 5 miles an hour, so I need it to roll past the switch as well. This should do it. Hopefully. That should buy me at least one more sort of the red. Oh yeah. This is the last cut right here before the rest of it gets together. I think the rest is ours. Yep. 5 cars, 2 engines. Okay, dokie. So now I swap over to yard mode here so that we can couple. And we're keeping an eye how many cars we got. If we need more, then we give it more. I'll probably go 5 about right here. Okay, so we got the rest of our cars. We just have to couple them all up together now. Go jump on the other side. So in theory, we could have sorted, if we kept on the main, we could have sorted the sign and the other. What we're going to do is, because it doesn't matter if we had one more interchange or not, Bryson would take care of the rest of that for us. The reason why we separate these 3 is one gets worked on along the way, which is the yellows. And then the reds get worked on here, and everything else goes with our train. The yellows are going to stay in their own block. In this case, we're going to use them as the rear block. Sometimes we do it as the head end block. Now I may need another signal here, but I'm not sure. But we'll find out. So we've got 27 cars. I'm going to go ahead and put it into road here. Should have plenty of fuel. The good thing about AI is they will keep an eye on the signal, which they're seeing now. They're just warning about it, that there is a stop signal up ahead. Now in about 10 minutes, I have to start getting the passengers ready, which will be perfect timing because what will happen is I'm going to back up with this train. I'm going to put in AI, step away for a couple minutes, and then basically go and start dealing with that. Okay, so looks like we were able to escape without having to worry about a signal, which is good. Okay, so now we want to head on back. We'll go about, we'll say 20. We'll probably need more than that, but and then I will, after this, for those that were asking about the dispatch, I will explain that because I have to set up that signal. All right. There's the separation. I'm missing one though. Somewhere I missed one. And I don't think it was a separation so much as it was a, yeah, let's try to find out. So it's going to be, that one's purple right there, so it's going to be the one in front of this one, I think. Well, I don't know about that. No, it's the next one. So it's between these two right here. Whoops, I missed that. Okay. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go teleport into the dispatch. So the little slashy button here over here gets you the console /TP space DS gets you into the dispatch office at Bryson. Go ahead and close that. So we're going to East Whittier. There's no passengers on the line right now. Next departures are at 10 o'clock. We are this one right here, which shows us our engine, or engines, I should say, 51, 52. It says 12 cars. That's only because there's only 12 cars on the main and the rest of us is in the yard. This here is a little note you can add these little notes to. But that's to let me know that I have the switch reversed. So we want the signals. Now if you look closely enough, they basically line up to where they're at. But if you look closely enough at the signals, Now that's interesting. So it's showing 78 and 80. Oh, 78 and 80. So the signal numbers are even. So 78 and 80 are your signal numbers, and your switch numbers are the odds. So if you were to look at signal 80, 80 controls this what they call this control point, which will light up red. A control point is basically an area where a signal protects the switch. So I'm before that. I've got a little bit of room. My AI didn't stop me, so I still have plenty of room down there. Like, in fact, if I hit 0, that's the control point at Cowie, right over here. Well, I can't quite zoom in on it, but I can get you over to there, and you can see like that. So I click 1 to get back into the dispatch office again. So your top are your switches. Those are your odd numbers. And what this indicates to me right now is anything that's yellow means that the switch is reversed. So it's reversed onto here, whereas anything that's green is normaled. The switch at Ella was reversed for a meet early on. They don't have to be restored in CTC. Basically, if you're controlling those switches, they do not have to be restored. Now, when we reload, some of these handles go back into different positions, but the bottom line is it does retain signal positions. What we want to do is move it over to the left, as in westbound. So signal going left in this case represents westbound going that way, eastbound going that way. So eastbound would go right, westbound would go left. We want to get to at least East Whittier. So we're just going to give ourselves to we're just going to give ourselves to Whittier for now. So I can control the handle all I want. It doesn't do nothing. The center is to cancel it or to put it back into a neutral position, whereas the switches. See, and I can do that. It doesn't change anything. Nothing has changed here. This is setting up the signals, and I'll show you how it all comes into play. So Thomas Valley, we want to go left. Again, making sure everything is green. We don't have to worry about those. That's behind us. We're going to the west. So we're going to go to a place called East Whittier, which isn't shown on the dispatch board, which is fine because it has nothing to do with the dispatch. And then from here, if I was to click one button, you'll hear this. Those are the relays switching. I don't know if they're the relays or the printer. I'm not 100% sure on that one. I've never actually seen an actual machine working other than model railroad setups and video of old dispatch. You can find it on YouTube. It's easy to find this kind of thing. So we got a left light here. If I was to go back out, you'll see now this shows green. The only indications here again are green and yellow, which is the switch indications, and then here green means that light is. Now I can throw it. That does not change the signal. That button changes the indication. If I was to, for example, so I've thrown myself, and the reason why they call these interlockings as well. If I was to go like this and try to put a signal going against each other on the main line, nothing happens. You hear the noise, which I guess isn't the printer, so it is a relay indicating that no, that's not going to accept it, because you're going against a train that is already cleared in that direction. So we'll put that back into the left. If I go out here and you take a look at the signal, you can see it's yellow, not green. Green indicates at least 2 blocks. So green is a clear signal. This is called an approach signal, which means the next signal you have to stop. If I go back in, let's say I want to have the train take the siding, I can do that. Now I can cancel the signal first and do it, or I can just go ahead and do it. By rights, you shouldn't be throwing anything against the engine, but there is no timing mechanisms or anything like that. That would be judged by the rules, and the dispatcher would have to follow those rules. So he shouldn't be throwing a signal in front of a train that's expecting a certain signal. Some of the computer ones, for example, do have, some of them have time interlockings so that you have to literally stop it. This doesn't simulate a timed interlocking or running time to cancel a signal. So in this case, you can see the switch is thrown this way and it's gone into there. But we don't want that. We want to go back to getting this in normal. So we put that back to green, and that's going to put that back to yellow over red. We can continue to do this all the way in one swoop, basically, to get us all the way to Whittier. Now we're not going to go past Whittier, we're going into East Whittier. And then, as you can see down here, we got a green signal. Now we would have had a green signal after 2, but this gives us green signals all the way to Whittier. And that's how that starts out. And then from here, we're going to get ourselves going. Maximum available speed. I'm going to watch him come out, and then I'm going to restore the switch to normal. Now that's the other thing too I will show you. Well, actually, no, that's okay. It'll remove itself when we do this. So we're coming up to the signal, and it's a green signal. Now, before the train hits it, I'm going to go to the 1. And we're going to watch this for a second and see what happens. Notice everything is green, everything the way we set it. Okay, you heard the bell, that's a ding. That means, that's a ding. You heard a bell, that's a ding. You heard a bell, that means that it entered the control point. Now another white light is also popped up on the other side of the control point. So you've got, in these blocks and the OS section, which is the control point, they call it on sheet, which is supposed to be where it goes onto the paper. So I think there's a printer involved as well, which is not simulated. You'll notice down here, even though it's throwing to the left, it's got a red. So it's indicating, it's actually indicating that, and then there's the other one. You cannot throw a switch, like say for example, all of a sudden I threw well, that one's a bad example. I can't throw a reverse switch, for example. It will not let you, because that control point is occupied. That's an interlocking. Notice that this guy still has a light here. Now, if I control 9, we're into that siding at Cowie, we're about to go into the tunnel. I'm going to go way back over here. Now you saw that extra light that was on. Let me show that to you again. So there's a light on here of 0 cars, and then there's our train of 41 cars. If if I go back here, yeah, that's just, oh, that's a bridge going into the tunnel. Okay, perfect. So now we follow ourselves over here. The signals revert back to red just like they do on the dispatch board, and like they do in on the actual signals. So everything is fine here. The reason why that white light is on is because we have a reverse switch. So the signal system, or the CTC system, recognizes a reverse switch on a main line, and it treats it as occupied. I cannot enter this line. I cannot put a signal into this line, at least not here. There are some places like yards like Bryson where you can, but then it gives it a restricting signal. As it goes by every block, it just passed another block right here. That's an intermediate signal. So you don't have these little red things. That's just intermediate signals. And as you can see, it says 15, 17 cars, 18 cars. So it's going to count up all of those until it gets to there. It's going to continue knocking down these signals along the way. So hopefully that explains enough. If you have any other questions about CTC, let me know in the comments, and I will be happy to answer any questions on that. And I'm going to be back in a minute. I don't know where my guys are. There is nobody here. I know somebody's coming about 9:30 or something like that. Let me just double check the chat. Join you at 8:30 or 9. Well, it's 8:53 Eastern, so I assume somebody's coming soon. But anyways, I'll be back in a couple minutes. Hey guys, I'm back. Just mowing down a cereal bar there. Figured I'd wait before I unmuted. So what I'll do is I'm going to post on here my latest status update. So that just gives guys something to see if they're just coming on or whatever. I assume I can be seen, but you never know. What I'm scared is that there's an issue and the internet popped up and everything's not showing up or some stupid thing like that. There's a nice shot there. Nobody said anything, so. Not to mention I'm in live chat, so at the very least it could pop in and see me there. Okay, so I just came out of Thomas Valley. It dropped down to, well, we'll go drop down to 25 for a minute. E Whittier, so I don't know what the situation is there. Or what tracks is available for me to come into or work from, etc. I'm not even too sure how many cars I have to drop there. I guess I could have waited till the yellow signal and then slowed down, because it's right beyond the signal is where really need to slow down. So again, speaking with the signals too, that East Whittier is a stop signal, so you'll see the AI crew will observe that as an approach signal. Although he didn't really do it, or he didn't say anything about it. I can go like this. Yeah, doesn't. I think if you're going faster than that, then it will do it, but anyways, it's okay. Okay, so this is the yard where we are coming up to now. I see cars up ahead, but I don't know if that's on the lead or what's going on there. Alright, what do we got here? So we got cars for the interchange. And I'm just making sure that I have the entire, because I wanna come right down through here and work possibly that part of the yard, but we'll see. That gives me 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. How many cars are there? 3, 4, 5, 6. So I could drop 9 here. Not sure if I'm going to do that or not. Depends how much I have. Let's go to the back here and we'll count our way. So I got a 13 car drop. So there's a few ways I can do it. I can go in, drop it off on here, or I could drop it off on here too. There's nothing saying I can't foul that last switch, although I don't really want to. I would prefer to be on here. Actually, there you go. So if I was to go on to that, I probably would fit more. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh yeah, easily. So what I'll do is I will come in off the siding here into the yard. And we're going to work our way in. Sorry, that track here. Alright, let's do it. Now I'm going to get out of here so I get my first person out of the way. Now another interchange coming in 10 minutes, and I forgot to get the interchange. I got to do something else first. I got to do it real quick. So the interchange is coming, but I also have the passengers to set up, and I totally forgot to do it because I was into my role there. Let's go ahead and do that real quick. So with the passengers, somebody was, I think somebody was asking about how, I don't know if it was here or whatever, the passengers Actually, no. I don't know where it was. I think it was on Train Sim or something. But anyways. So we've got a Larka, which of course I didn't do anything. So you gotta set your stuff that you want. This guy's going this way. Almond. Not a holla. Yeah, all that stuff. Okay. I've got to put a brake on one of these cars if I can get it. Does this car not have a brake? I haven't done this one yet. Well, it's not the end of the world if I go in this way, I suppose. No, I don't want to do that. If not, I will, I'll deal with it. Okay, uh-oh. Oh. I'm acting as if I'm not in first person. I'm like trying to drag myself along there, and then I'm wondering like, why isn't this working? All right, let's get. Well, I guess I have to control that. Come on. You are number one, are you not? Stop when passing. Are you okay? Okay, there's going to be a brake or something on one of these, I would imagine. No, that's released. That's released. I'll apply that one. How about a manual? I have no idea what this thing is doing. I've never seen that. Okay. What's the order saying? Stop when passing. Orders 10 miles an hour. It's got something to... Okay, it's got something to do with that passenger loading thing, I think. So I'll go ahead and indulge it here. We've already screwed up our schedule, by the way, but that's okay. I don't know what happened. It didn't like it. There it goes. It would not go until I put everything back together, which was kind of weird. Alright. So on this one, you want to put it to manual anyways. 2.9 tons of coal will be fine. We just want to get some water for this thing. Whoops! So I was supposed to start at 10 o'clock. I don't think that's going to happen. Might. You never know. Hey! I thought I put the brake on. I thought I put the brake on, but apparently I didn't. Or I released it or something. Okay, now I can release it slowly. There we go. Okay, RTS 3, where are you? You should be at the siding, so let's passengers. So trying to get it all to go. Alarka, no, we're at Sylva right now. So Dillsboro. So you want all the stations that it's going to go to. Nantahala and Almond are not. And then copy to. And then you want that. We want to set that to forward, but we don't want to do it just yet. 5. Hopefully it's got enough coal at 5, but I don't know if it does. Probably doesn't. Well, it needs water on the way out anyways. I'll deal with that in a minute. I just want to make sure that I get one started and 3 started. 5 I can deal with. Okay.
Hello.
Hey, how's it going?
Is it? I'll be in a second.
No problem. So I didn't have R selected there. I just got to get that beyond the switch, get that going. Yeah, we got a car to pick up over here today. Interchange received. Okay, so the interchange is complete. So now we just put it into forward and away we go, and that's done. R3 should be okay. Looks like it is. Yeah, come on.
I spawned over in Sylva. Do you want me to do all this local work over here?
What was that again?
I spawned in Sylva. Do you want me to do all this local work? I see there's work in Sylva, and I also see over in Dillsboro there's a cut of cars.
Yeah, you can go ahead for that if you want.
Alright.
Okay, so I gotta give that a signal. You see the light down at East Whittier there. I can put a light up to it, but I'll deal with that in a minute. Okay, so that's R3. RTS 5. Oh, I gotta deal with that in a minute. Okay. Okay. I do have to set something here for him, though. I do have to make sure that this switch up here is reversed. Because he won't be able to do that, so we got to make sure we can do that for him. This switch here. All right. Okay, so it's 5. Did we load everybody? No, we didn't even do that. Okay, I better do that. Let's load everybody first. So we got Almond, Alarka, Bulb. Yeah, this is the one I'm behind in.
You just got another interchange.
Oh yeah, that's the last one. I was expecting at least one more, but thankfully that's it. Okay, so he's done loading. We just have to add some coal. Oh, don't, nope, nope. Oh, I went forward. Oh, I guess it was close enough. So I gotta get water on the way out. You can see the passenger stations are being hit along the way. Now he'll pass right through that passenger station up ahead because we don't have any passengers for it. Or we're not set up to have passengers. All the passengers are going somewhere else. Okay, 6 tons. Oh, I thought that was it. Alright, here we go. How much cola we got back in there? We're fine. So grab the water on the way out, then we will set the dispatch boards, and then I'll continue doing what I was doing. In fact, I want to see what's going on here. So I'm going to, whoops, went too far. I don't know why I got too many of them. I didn't think I had that many of them. I guess I had a, because you only have to hit it once, not double click. So Larka Junction here, I want to put, call that switch, apply. And then we're going to put ourselves into the hole here for a meet between those two passengers. He's got to stop at Dillsboro. Oh boy. Oh boy. Did I go past it? I did. That's what you get for multitasking. I knew it was a little ways out, but these passengers must be thinking I'm nuts. Let's try that. That works. Okay. So yeah, a little bit of labor intensive, but the way it was before the passenger update was you couldn't run 3 passengers like that. you'd have flares everywhere. You'd be dispatching like crazy, stopping trains, starting trains. It was crazy. Yeah, when I look back at it, but it was one of those things that they really needed, and they did it. It was just like, yep. Now the schedules plays into, so he's departing Cochrane. He's going to be coming out onto the main shortly. There we go. Double check, 3,500, that's correct. And away you go. Okay, so he's left Dillsboro. We got to get back to our train. Get that going. I have the switch indicator here. Everything else is okay. And what I'll do is I will teleport myself to my engine at 51. Try to get reacquainted with what I'm doing. Oh yeah, I was coming in and then I realized that there was stuff that I needed to do. Okay. So there's a few things to watch out for here. And bring myself down to 10 miles an hour. So I'm coming in on this track, which is fine. But I want to leave my caboose just floating off the main so that I can run around the one track in the yard. And we're coming up to it shortly. Number 1 holding at red board. Ooh, this is a good place to fuel up as well. I want to see what's going on here. Oh, I thought I gave a light and I guess I didn't. I went the wrong way. So you want to reverse switch and that, but they give you those warnings just in case. Okay. So So thankfully I was able to find that. Yeah, I want to get, I want to be able to do this right here. How far away are you? Oh, this is beautiful. It's hard to stop that on a dime. And now he's drained all the air. Let me just check for a second here. I still got a little room. Alright, here we go. I just want to get into this target area here. Stop. Stop. Oh, man. Is he going to allow it? Good. Because I was going to say, I'll probably be able to pull up one more ahead here. The other thing I got to watch out for is the passenger train that's not too far away. Yeah, I'm going to have to clear the main track. He's going to have a station stop at Wilmot. I'll be clearing the main track for him, for sure. Let me sit down here. Yeah, so he just got through Barker's here. Oh. The question is, can I clear the main track? And get this filled up? I'm not 100% sure of that. So, Wilmot is a 5-minute stop. Well, they're all 5-minute stops. So at least I have that. I probably have about 10 minutes. And over on this side, once he's in Brooks, I can get the main line lined up through. Hoping. I don't think he will clear the main track. No, he will not. And I won't be able to do a thing until that train gets out of here, because the whole point was I needed the caboose straddling this track right here, and that's gonna jeopardize the main. So So they're 1,100 in each tank for these GP units. I might be able to do something here, now that I'm thinking about it.
Did the interchange balance out this time?
Yeah, it's a little better. So it seems normal to me.
That's good.
There we go. Okay. I got an idea.
Might be worth it to get the, supposedly there's a mod to increase the number of cars so you don't have to get multiple interchanges. You get everything all in one shot.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm okay for it. I'm not much of a mod person, but that's just me. Okay, let me pull this ahead here. Actually, yeah, let me pull this ahead real quick here. How much time do I have? I haven't heard Wilmot yet. Okay, no, he arrived at 10:22. Now, I don't have time to screw around here. I probably have enough. Do I have enough time to even? Well, no. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it in this yard. I'll be okay. I'm going to clear the yard, and we will get out of his way while still being able to be somewhat productive. So originally I wanted the caboose here, but what I'm going to end up doing is not having, because of that passenger train and the fuel and all other stuff, I'm not going to be able to do what I was hoping to do. Had I went down the other track, I would have been okay. But now I just have some extra runs here. Okay. So I'm clear of the main track now, because the light is gone. We should have a meet at Bryson. But then again, he was late, so it's hard to say. I'll get it to Hemingway on this side, and then I will give it to Governor Island on the other. Or Governor's Island, I should say. Okay. Actually, let me go into ground mode here. So what I want to do is I want to bring my whole train down here. Back up the caboose. Hopefully I can do that and fit it. I'm not sure yet. Haven't thought of that one. Oops, hello. Yeah, I haven't really given that much thought. So it's departing Wilmot Station. Now, hopefully I'll get him past here. Ooh, it's gonna be tight. But it made it. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up both doors. So I can see what I'm doing. Yeah. I guess I can't, I can jump it one way, but I can't jump it the other. Okay. Let's see how far. Let's see how close we are. Well, 5 miles an hour will work if need be. But I'd like to get up to 10 if I can. Oh, what the hell happened? Why did he hit the brakes? Oh, it thought it sometimes it thinks it's gonna run into other things, so it starts doing goofy stuff. Okay, let's just push this out of the way. That was weird. Okay, so you want the bar on this side. So what happened was the AI just said, no, I have to stop that train, you're going to run into cars, because it was a proximity. Alright, that's what we want. Then over here, whoops, I don't want that just yet. Here comes the train. Oh, isn't that gonna be cool? Oh, did I even dim that light? I might have forgot. I was originally going to Y that thing too. I'll Y it when I get back. Or I'll try to remember. Alright. So now we get back on our train. We've done our drop off. Yeah, right. Now, I think we're okay if we continue to back up more. So this is all for East Whittier, Whittier. So what I'm trying to do is get myself back enough so where I can fuel the train. Don't know if I'll be able to do it. Well, I gotta stop now anyway, so. Stop. Alright, I gotta go manual. What is with this thing? Usually that's it, but I guess I gotta just have it in that area. Okay. Go ahead and where's the damn thing? There it is. There we go. Check on dispatch board here. Okay, so we arrived at Element Station at 10:32, so he's still coming. Pretty confident now that he's going to make the main track at Bryson. Usually the meet's down here anyways, but it could be at Hemingway, depending. But we'll wait and see. Alright, how are you guys doing here? It's pretty big fuel tanks. So you got the cyan and you got the dark blue, and we're just dropping them off at Bryson because we've had an interchange for 43 minutes now. Because just Cmdr was talking about a mod for being able to fit more cars in and all the other stuff. I'm not exactly sure it would be able to fit them all anyways once it gets busy enough, so I'm not worried about it. Okay, we're almost done here. So this is, we'll have a shot right into Bryson, but we're going to have to mingle our way in with the passenger traffic. Okay. We're all set. How our cash is looking right now. Operation safety is up to 91. That's good. There's a few things we have not possibly done yet. But anyways, let's check the finances. So we're not paying off any more debt at the moment. We paid that all off last night. Or sorry, we paid that off early this morning. All right. So while we're heading out there, I'm gonna go ahead and give us some light up to behind Ella. There's the passenger. Okay, so this thing does not want to... No, I want to do 0. Hang on a second. Control 9 for a second. I want to make sure I've cleared myself, and then I will get that train moving. Alright. So Just go on RTS 1 for a second. I don't know why it does this. It's kind of strange, but it says stop when passing. It's indicating that this
You cut out. Does what?
Sorry about that. No, I was just chatting with my YouTube there. Whenever I select control, like when I hit control, like my hotkey is a left control. That there's a bug in one of the engines that'll just stop. So I was explaining that, but I went to hit control onto the engine to try to get the window up, and that does the push to talk.
I gotcha.
That's neat. I don't think I noticed that before.
Hey, Sean.
Yeah, what's up?
I would recommend, I don't know what your plans are, but I would recommend you leave 42 and have it dedicated to working this area here. And then when you're ready to buy more power, I recommend you get another Jeep and like a caboose to run local work between Dillsboro and Ella. And then you've already got 51 and 52 for now. I think you're good to move like your stuff between Dillsboro and Bryson for all that work. I mean, it's up to you, but that's what I would recommend you do.
So you're saying to, instead of dropping off at East Whittier, because he's actually doing all the way to Wilmot now. He's going to be handling Wilmot. Because it's a little.
I would recommend. I mean, this is just my suggestion. I think there's more than enough work to have the sawmill dedicated to working the sawmill, and you should have a. When you get enough money and you're ready to buy another engine, I would get another Jeep and dedicate it to doing a local, and you could have the local operate between Dillsboro and Ella, doing all the local work, not including any work for the sawmill. The sawmill will still, you'd basically treat the sawmill like the sawmill is its own industry with its own butcher, its own, railroad operating the sawmill, and, the Connolly branch. Let him switch out all the stuff at the sawmill. Let him set up your interchange to pick up your bulkhead flats and stuff. But he wouldn't be running between Whittier and Wilmot. He'd just be handling the sawmill, and then you'd have a dedicated local that'll do all your your local work, for downtown, where the station is in Dillsboro, handling, your stuff at Wilmot, all those little sidings there, and then, doing your local work in the downtown Whittier and doing Ella, and then he would turn around, come back to Dillsboro, and that would be the local and that would operate out of Dillsboro. And then 42 would be dedicated in the same way that you have a dedicated engine working the sawmill. You'll have 42 dedicated to working the tannery and the paperboard. And if you need to rob it every once in a while, I would limit it to only being robbed to help with local work, not sending it across the map.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I know what you're saying. I know around day 30 I'm planning on getting some Jeeps anyways. But I know the priority that I'm thinking of is to get the Jeeps, at least 4 Jeeps, so that I can get up the grade to get to Andrews as well.
Right, now I know you had been talking about getting Jeeps for that section of the line, but I'm suggesting you get at least 1 Jeep for over here, because trying to move this work with 42, there's going to be a lot of cars. It doesn't really have the power, number one, to move all this work between Dillsboro and getting all the, you've got 22 cars alone in bulkhead flats that need to go to the sawmill, plus the additional work for the sawmill, plus all the additional cars. So I think in the end, it's like 40-something cars. You really need a Jeep to move all this work over there, and it'd be better to keep 42 working Sylva rather than have him running all around the map and have a Jeep that has more power to be able to do, you know, the movements between Dillsboro and I would say have him responsible, the local be responsible for between Dillsboro and Ella, and then you set up another local between Bryson and points west. I don't know what you would set up right now. I haven't thought about that, but I'm saying I have thought about this area. I would suggest the local handle Dillsboro to Ella.
Yeah, okay, roger that.
I mean, it's up to you. You're handling the money. I'm just making a suggestion.
Yeah, no, I understand that. The other thing too is Scott probably needs a bigger engine as well. He's got the basic switcher engine now. I did swap out between. I think he says he's okay with it, so it's not a priority for him. I know that. But yeah, we can. What we can do is at day 30, which is coming up in a couple of days, or if when we have enough money because we've already paid off this last loan, we can try that out. We can use a GP as well and see how that goes. Scott has been trying other areas outside the sawmill, because what's happening is the reason why we gave him a little bit more out of the sawmill was because I wanted to expand his window a little bit, and also the other thing too is that local's going to have to come all the way to Whittier, because there'll be the work at Whittier as well. So he'll come all the way down to Whittier, and then his engine can just be specific to the sawmill.
Right. No, I'm saying the local would go actually all the way to Ella and then turn around before coming back to Dillsboro.
Oh yeah. I'm getting my directions. I'm getting my directions confused. Yeah, I'm looking at the board right now. I see what you mean.
And I'm not saying if he has a night where, you know, he's done with his work at the sawmill, obviously he can take over the local and just, I would say, you know, again, leave an engine dedicated at the sawmill, just leave it there until the work materializes. But I just think you need like something more powerful to be moving the work between Dillsboro and Ella than, you know, a switcher 42 or the steam switcher over at the sawmill. What I'm.
No, I understand that. Yeah, that's fine. And also, Scott's already he's already started expanded working. He's also worked in Sylva as well the last couple of nights a little bit, so he's getting accustomed to that as well. So like he's expanded enough now that where he can cover other positions when or if a crew's available. Like Switcher hasn't been around for the past few days. He's dealing with some issues or something, and so we've been kind of going back and forth with that. But I'll try to get him onto other things too, and he's open to that. Not sure where he is tonight, though. I haven't heard from him, so hope he's okay.
Yeah, I didn't see any comments. I think the comments I was reading through, because I was catching up, they were probably from yesterday, I guess, not tonight.
Roger that.
I don't know if you saw my comment, but I was listening earlier to a podcast, and they were talking about that they were losing subscribers as well. And they said that they think it's, you know, YouTube throttling people and trying to get rid of ad blockers. So some people are just getting rid of YouTube altogether. So I wouldn't worry about it.
No, I'm not too worried about it. I've never really concerned myself that much with it anyways. I only joke around with those numbers. It'd be nice, but you don't make much off YouTube anyways, not at this level. Okay. Oops, I gotta get this guy going out of Ella here. Oops. So now things are picking up. I gotta put him probably into Governor's Island, but I'm not sure yet. There he goes. He's got the signal now. I accidentally ran him through the siding. I didn't mean to do that, but I noticed something had changed there. Yeah, the other thing I was thinking of as well too is, yeah, he'd probably be better off with a local. Now that I think about that, because sometimes what will happen is he'll be at the sawmill and then he'll just want to go out and run an extra local up to Whittier or whatever, because there's a car there or whatever. I was thinking, and I don't want. Basically, I would rather, especially like right now, would be is to, obviously we're focusing on things that need to be done, so, but not to do too many jobs repeatedly, if you know what I mean.
Right.
But the other thing too you can do is you can set up the switch lists ahead of time, and that's another thought I had. I don't know if that's something we should consider. I don't know if others do it or not. I know I think it was Quincy the other day was on, and I think he said something about that he wasn't a part of a crew or something like that, or he wasn't assigned. I didn't know what he meant by that, but that was something that I was wondering if he meant having a switch list or something like that. But he didn't specify any further than that. So I don't know if he was looking for something or he just felt that there was enough people working at the time. I think we had 3 or 4 of us on at the time or whatever he was on, and he wasn't too sure what to do. I basically mentioned where certain engines were. That was about it.
Right, so basically my understanding is that's the whole point of the crew system that they have in place, where you can create crews. Basically the intention behind that is you create a crew, and then that enables you to create a switch list. And that's a way of setting up trains in advance for like an operation session. So you create the crew, then you have your switch list and you assign the cars that need to be done by that crew to a switch list, and you can basically pre-set up all the trains that need to be run during your operation session. And then you can tell that person to go, I don't know, group, whatever you name the crew, like crew 1, and crew 1's going to handle a local between, like we were talking about, Dillsboro and Ella, and the switch list will be set up already. All he has to do is add himself to that crew, and then he knows what work he needs to be done. That's how my understanding is how crews are supposed to work, and how some people are utilizing the crew system, based on what I've read.
Yeah, and I've also set up switch lists in the past as well. I don't use them as much as I was, but that's just basically because sometimes it's just easier to see the different graphic, or the color with the graphics, and seeing what's there, and it's just easy enough. But I have used the switch list in the past, and it works pretty good that way. So I've done it a few times where I've set up a crew and done that. But usually I think our crews are set up for engine numbers and not really anything else.
Right. I mean, again, I haven't played with Quincy, and I'm just going based on what you told me, so I don't know if that's what he meant when he was saying that. Maybe he's been playing with other people that are setting up switch lists which create crews, and maybe that's what he's looking for. I'm not really sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Oh, I probably should have. I'm moving all the work from the interchange now over to Dillsboro.
That's fine.
But I have a red, so either can I have permission to pass it, or can you give me a green?
Yeah, stand by. There's a switch reverse there as well. You can restore that to normal.
I already did.
Roger that. Okay, so that gets into Dillsboro. Alright, you should be all set.
Alright, thank you.
No problem. Okay. So we got Bryson out here, a passenger train. While we were talking there, he arrived. Now they usually meet on the west end. So I'm gonna get him through here. So right now I have him routed. He's departing Hemingway. Bryson, he arrived at Bryson at 11:02, so he's going to be leaving at 11:07. He's going to hold. It was either I hold him there or I hold this one here, and since he's pretty much on time and this guy's behind a little bit, I'll let him catch up. Trying to bring my guy in, but hopefully I got the room. Because I did not check. I do have a account for the 7 more cars. Woo! This could be tight. Timetable here. What do we got? Well, Governor's Island is supposed to be 29. Now he's holding him back. I don't know if he made it. If not, I can do a manual override to get him in there, which is exactly what I'm going to do, just because he is... He's fouling the control point here, so I got to get him ahead of that. Just making sure that the slack is held off. There we go. Now he's good to come right through. Yeah, that's cool because like Scott would talk to me about different considerations with engines, so you know, ultimately I hold the cash strings, so deciding as far as what purchases to make, etc. So we do have GPs coming in anyways. So having an extra GP down there won't hurt. Why did you honk? Oh. I was like... I was wondering, it was a steam engine too. Like, I'm hearing the whistle. I'm thinking it's my train that's out there. I forgot to dim that light and put my markers on. Yeah, well. So we won't be able to see that meet. But we control everything through here. So I've taken the switch marker off. He's restored the switch Commander has to normal. I've got Dillsboro. I didn't give him a light beyond that, so now he has it. I thought I did, but so now from here it's basically you're monitoring. So yellow means reverse, green. So he's lit up to come around him. He's got a 5-minute station stop to hit here. I'm waiting for all that to take place. I was going to put myself into the yard first. I probably could have. But I didn't want to back up anything. I probably could have because he was a lot further off than I expected. So what I could have done is thrown a switch over on the one side, brought myself in real quick. In fact, I may do it. But if I'm going to do it, I got to do it real quick. And I don't think I'm going to. No. We'll just hold steady here. Probably end up it would be light power going back up to thing. So he's on the approach here. That's Commander's train coming past Dillsboro. Did you say you happened to pick up all those empty flats as well?
Yeah, I brought everything from Sylva.
Okay, that's cool. Alright, I'm at Governor's Island right now. Passengers are just having a meet at Bryson, so I'm holding back, and then by the end of the night I'll have my cars dropped off at Bryson. I'm not going to do any blocking. I'll leave that for the Bryson switcher, and then head back light power to pick all that stuff up. And do you? I guess are you going to be grabbing what you need out of Dillsboro as well, or the interchange?
So what I'm gonna do is I'm here at Dillsboro now. I'm gonna set up, break this down. There's already a cut of cars that's already set up for Sylva that I'm gonna drag back to Sylva when I'm done, but I'm gonna break this all down so that it's all set, ready to go.
Okay, roger that.
I mean, you have a lot of cars for Whittier. I'd say over half the train, 3/4 of it is going straight to the sawmill.
Wow. So now he's coming through. You can hear him coming up to the station here. That's number 3, which means he's coming down this way. Now that little switch indicator that I see there, that's to catch my attention. So these are all set up except Governor Island. What I'm going to do is go to the 0 mode here. Just want to make sure I'm not creeping back, which I'm not. And then go to the map. And I want to go to the junction here. This junction switch. Yeah, I think that's a good idea to, while we're picking up. All right. So now I'm waiting for the next meet to occur. You see the signals all lit up green, both sides there. Yeah, we'll see after today how much money we'll be making. It's a little bit, because of that one big huge day, I'm not exactly sure where we're going to be at. How many cars did you said there was a lot for the sawmill?
I pulled 38 cars in total. If you give me a minute, I'll count what I have for the sawmill.
Wow. Yeah, because I think I have 11 or 13 that I dropped off earlier. Mind you, that was Whittier too.
About 24 for the sawmill. Or at least for Whittier.
Oh, okay, roger that.
Yeah, actually, they're all for the sawmill except for one says Whittier House Track.
Roger that. Has anything shown up for Ella lately?
I believe, let me see. Yeah, there's 2 for Ella House.
Okay, yeah, it's been a while. It's been a couple days since we've got, even with that big day, I don't think we had anything for Ella, so. Yesterday we had a fuel car for Whittier. So yeah, okay, so Ella, that's good. Anything for Wilmot?
Let me see.
Probably be orangey color.
I guess that's the Lay, Micah, and Schist, right?
That's the one.
Yeah, there's 1 car for that.
Now Scott, he hasn't been. We haven't technically changed that route. We discussed doing it, but we didn't really. We've never really had a car yet to where we changed it. The last time I serviced it was. Wow. I'm just trying to think. I for some reason I think I serviced it but I didn't service it with 51. I can't remember what I had, but I must have, maybe I had the switcher. But I definitely serviced that about 2 days ago or something. But yeah, that's something that we can continue to keep for Sylva, or we can, instead of transferring it all over to East Whittier and giving them more, keep that for Sylva for the time being until we get the GP, which we will be getting by day 30. I can guarantee you that. So that engine will be available because we'll be building up the pool for the expansion. I don't know how much we're going to need. I know we need, like, I've heard we need 4 engines. But the way things are going cash-wise, we paid off that loan way in advance than I expected. So well, then again, we had a pretty big day that one day, so, but I think we're at least 20,000 revenue per day right now, so we should have no problem purchasing an additional 3.
Yeah, I mean, you only probably need 1 for over here, but I'm sure you'll find other things you need Jeeps for. I mean, if you're only doing local work, again, you're probably only going to need 1. You don't need to double up or anything. Save the doubling up for your manifests, you know, your larger trains. A local will be fine with just 1 Jeep. It's just too much for a SW to handle.
Yeah, I'm wondering if there's any particular steam engines that we can use, but I don't know if there's anything equivalent.
I mean, again, that depends on what kind of fleet you want to go for. I don't know if you're going for a mixture of both, or if you want to just go for diesel, or if you want to, I don't know what you want to do, but if you were going to do steam, I think the equivalent of a Jeep would probably be would either be the E55 consolidation, I guess, or you'd have to go right up to the Berkshire.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna keep passengers. But put it this way, whatever's left over or gets retired from the steam will probably be used in local yard service. For example, the passenger fleet will get upgraded. We've already done 1, but it's I don't know if it was Atlantic or Pacific, first level one, but it's doing pretty good. But the next purchases will probably be bigger ones, but they're not high priority. Everything with the passenger service right now works fine for the most part. But I will probably keep steam with the passenger service, and then I think I'll focus more with diesel, and then probably some of the older steam that we don't sell that we can use for like different yards or whatever. We'll do that. Originally I was thinking of having one up at Dillsboro anyways, so having a Jeep is fine, because like you said, you want it to climb that hill, because that's the one where, well, there's 2 hills actually. If you're going to go out the other way too, you got the Collie Hill to the west as well. So
yeah, the other benefit to doing the Jeep down this way is you don't have as much, at least for now, unless they change something, you don't have as many water columns, and you don't have, so if you go with steam going up and down these hills, you're burning through your water, whereas you don't have that issue with the diesel.
yeah, that's for sure. And the one place where I'll probably keep it steam for a backup, which isn't needed yet, but eventually I'm anticipating having a what do you call it? Probably a local job between what do you call it? Probably a local job between Alarka Junction as well as going up the other way, up to the copper, which doesn't take too many cars. So one of those retired steam can probably handle that. Okay. Alright, now I can go in, get myself into the yard here. Check my messages, make sure everything's okay. RTS 1 just arrived at Natahala. I don't know why 51's in manual. I'll get him going. Alright, so we're just shutting that down. Departing Bryson, I'm just checking if there's anything else. 3 arrived in Hemingway, he's still moving. The other guys are still moving, so that's fine.
You know where Scott might be, actually, now that I think about it. He's probably playing Railroads Online.
Oh, did he say he was going to download that tonight?
Yeah, that's what I just remembered when I was reading through the comments, because they just updated the game and included that Alaska map. I don't really have any interest in going back to it. I saw the update, I thought about re-downloading it, but I said, you know what, I actually prefer Railroader to this. I'm not going back to that again.
You know, and really, I mean, I really thought it was revolutionary at the time when I first saw that, you know, you can create your own line anywhere on the map and all that, but then, if I was going to go that way, it would probably be Century of Steam down the road, but I'm not even that impressed with Century of Steam, believe it or not.
So my opinion is, if Century of Steam, I think it looks really good visually, and I like all the customization options. If they implement, in terms of gameplay, if it's the same as this game, and they implement like the way cards, where you hit tab and you see where the cars need to go, and that's all auto-generated, then I could see Century of Steam, for me, being a good option. But I really prefer Railroader at this point, because I like that they're giving you the cars. I like that they have the way cards that, you know, hover above the cars, and you know where you got to take them. I like the gameplay aspect of this a lot better. I don't want to... If Century of Steam is just going to be a better looking Railroads Online, then I'm probably not going to play Century of Steam, is what I'm basically saying.
Well, it's going to be a better... I imagine it'll be a better looking one, but it'll also be a more physically accurate one, from what I've heard from Heiss and his different criticisms of like Railroader and others. So it'll be like a Run 8 of Steam, is what I'm thinking. But honestly, like, oh, this thing's honking like crazy here. Let me back it off. The whole thing is, and I played Run 8 for almost a decade. This, for me, has the ability of having that. It's just fun. I can't. And I mean, don't get me wrong. Run 8 was fun for years too, but this one, you get right into it. It kind of takes off from where it was, and yeah, it doesn't have 100% perfect physics. I mean, that's okay. It doesn't matter to me, and I'm not worried about these big, huge routes that Run 8 has either. I just prefer to run something I can manage.
Right. Again, like I said, I think visually, and yeah, it's going to definitely be more accurate and visually more appealing looking than, you know, Railroads Online and even arguably this game. But like I said, if Century's team is not going to implement some sort of system similar to the gameplay in this game, I don't think it's really going to draw me away from this game. I don't want to go back to playing Railroads Online for the gameplay aspect mostly. I mean, besides the fact that it doesn't run very well, but I like that this game encourages you to do more than just, because in Railroads Online it just evolved into everything was a unit train. Everything was, we're just going to run lumber, we're just going to run oil, we're just going to run coal. There was no manifests, there was no local trains, everybody just ran point to point. There's no, this encourages all of that. You can set up a train to do a manifest, you know, yard to yard. You can set up a local, you can set up a bulk train. It depends on it, but it's not encouraging one. I feel like Railroads Online just encourages everything to be just transporting one type of car from one location to the other. It does not encourage you, unless you go out of your way, to set up more realistic operations. Plus, I don't also want to go back to laying track again. I don't want to deal with that. I like that the track is set up here. I'm actually not interested in setting up my track.
Yeah, no, I mean, it was fun at first, but yeah, but once I got into this, I just, you know, I'm happy with the world the way it is, and even, like, honestly, yes, I'm looking to expand, but it's not the end of the world if I don't. I'm at that point right now where I'm just happy enough running what I've got.
Right, and that's also, there's 55 miles of track in this game, and by myself I can only handle a quarter of it. So if I want to expand, I can expand. If I don't, I don't. And so there's still plenty of, I could change the game up by simply restarting the game, and instead of buying the sections that I bought, I could buy different sections, and it'll give me a whole different experience.
Yeah, that's true. No, you know, as a single player, you can make longer days and all that. I mean, with Run 8, there was a point where I couldn't even do everything in 24 hours. I haven't even pushed that far yet, but they'd have to get better lighting anyways in some areas, I think, some of the yards, before I'd even consider that. But
well, you can't do this game in single player in 24 hours. I've pushed the limit. I'm already in my game that I've been playing. I'm on in a single day. I haven't finished the day yet, and I've been playing for like 2 weeks. Now, granted, I spent a good amount of time working on your layout, your railroad, but like on my own railroad, it's one day is going on like 2 weeks now, and I'm like, I think at 11 o'clock at night, maybe, I don't know, and I still haven't finished everything that needs to be finished, so technically I'm not finishing it in 24 hours.
oh, there you go.
I mean, if I had, you know, a couple other people in there, that would be a different story, but if you're doing it by yourself, you really, I mean, I guess technically I'm not counting 24 hours, I guess, arguably, because I'm counting from 6 o'clock in the morning, not exactly 12 o'clock midnight to 12 o'clock midnight. But still, like, the point is, there's so much to do in this game. Like, you know, and you can adjust, obviously, the tier levels. That would probably make it more manageable as well.
Okay, I finally got my... I was stopped a couple times by passenger trains. I was stuck at East Whittier while I was... I actually fueled up finally. Got that done, and I got stuck Governor's Island while the two passengers met here, and then finally dropped these cars off. I just seem to be, what is it, 11:33 in the morning. Wow. Day goes by quick. I think I already did that, but I'm not sure. I'll set this up first. Okay, so I've left eastbound light power Bryson now, heading back your way. Passengers between you and I, he just departed eastbound Ella. He's lit up to Cowie right now, so he's got at least 2 station stops in between, so he'll be there. Well, it won't be tonight because we're going to be shutting down in a few minutes, but he's getting up that way. How much are you going to occupy the main before we shut down, or is it just easier to occupy the main for now?
I don't have anything on the main right now. I'm just, as I need to, pulling out on the main to sort cars, but there's nothing sitting on the main.
Oh, okay, roger that. I just see the CTC showing an indication between Cowie and Dillsboro.
Well, I have one switch open right now because the train was long enough that fortunately, that's another criticism I have of this yard. They need a longer yard lead so that I don't have to get on the main line to do that. But yeah, I have a switch open right now.
Yeah, no problem. That's fine. It's good enough. Yeah, we'll restore it by the end of the night. Like, I got about 5 minutes, and then I'll shut down. But yeah, a drill track would be nice, kind of like what they have at East Bryson. But I'm okay with the challenges too. That the fact that they don't have it perfect for whatever reason. Like sometimes they can't fit a drill track or whatever.
But well, they already have that siding up there for that original. Apparently, they were supposed to do something with that, but they changed their minds. So that's why they have that passing siding right before the bridge up here. They could just honestly just connect down to the yard here, and I don't see any reason they couldn't do that other than they don't want to.
Yeah, challenge. Who knows? Okay, I gotta check the Alarka here. Pretty sure I already went there. Yeah, he's departing now, so... I hear him. Oh yeah, he's fine. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
I just got disconnected.
Yeah, it was stubbing like crazy there. Here, I'll save and reconnect just for a few minutes, just to restore everything up.
Yeah, because I'm in AI mode, but I was still running at the time.
I think it was me jumping around too much there that might have caused that. But yeah, let me reconnect. Okay, it might be up now. Okay, yeah, whenever you get a chance to finish up over at Dillsboro there, restore the main, then we'll call the night. Okay, you okay for me to shut down?
Let me just back up a little bit, and then yeah, give me 1 second.
No rush. So we got 11:40 a.m.
Alright, if you want to do a save, you can do a save. So, I have, just so you're aware of what's going on, let's see. One whole track is occupied by stuff for Whittier, except I wasn't able to pull this sleigh mica and shift car off of that. I got a track of stuff that needs to go back to Sylva. I also have 2 cars for Dillsboro, 3 cars for Dillsboro. One of them's still on this train that's got to go on to the train that's heading to Whittier and to Bryson and whatnot. So whoever tomorrow is with you will have to finish up what I started, but it's mostly ready to. There won't be too many more switch moves that need to be made. You start earlier on Wednesday. I know. It all depends how my work goes. I usually don't get out in time on Wednesday to join you before you shut down at 8. So I will probably have to see you on Thursday.
Yeah, okay, roger that. No problem. Yeah, I might be able to. Well, we'll see what's going on if Scott's back or whatever, and then he might want to have a go at that. I've got the passenger lit up now, anyways, through there. So he's like, where is he at? Yeah, he's east of Whittier now, so. I mean, I guess there's still plenty of time to make a couple moves, but yeah, I'll make sure it's taken care of then.
Yeah, I'd say there's probably anywhere from 15 to 20 minutes of switch moves to get everything 100%. And then you can run a train out of here westbound, and you can Have the switcher run everything back over to Sylva that needs to go to Sylva and anything in between there.
Okay, roger that. And yeah, and I got light power come back. If you want to post something on the Discord, just what you told me there, that's fine. That way everybody knows. And then there's nothing on my end. I'm just running light power eastbound, so heading back towards you anyways. So even I might be able to help out by the time I get over there. I'm at where am I at right now? Good question. Oh, okay, I see. I'm at Ella right now, and the passengers at Thomas Valley, so yeah. I'll be there in no time.
Alright, I'll write a quick thing and then I'll see you probably on Thursday.
Alright, Commander. Have a good one, man. Talk to you later.
Have a good night. Bye.
Take care. Okay, guys. We're going to shut her down. That was kind of fun. Took a while to get there, but still a lot of work to do. But especially we're down a couple crews past couple of nights. So, but so far so good. We're making our way through it. Looks like there's a lot of work still to be done by the sounds of it there. Anyways, that's all for now, guys. Have a good one. We'll talk to you later. Take care.